Grand Rising. I wanted to start us off with mentioning about the book I'm reading. I'm almost finished with it. Happy with myself. I wanted to share this because I probably shared it before, but I wanted to share it again because this book is just really really great on some of the points that they just mentioned about the feminine nature of this. Personally, when I read this book, when I have read this book, what ran across my mind was when he was like breaking down certain attributes and ways that certain natures that we automatically go to. And he breaks them down in like the 4 elements, because we have 4 elements: fire, water, air, earth. And he breaks them down into 4 elements. And it was just interesting how not only some of us may act in one of the elements, or some of us may have all 4. But he's basically explaining that there's positives to the 4 elements, and there's negatives. Some of us may have been working on one that have been really strong in a negative way, so that makes our feminine energy is basically off. There's something that's off, especially if it's in the negative way of those 4 elements. But he says if it's in the positive, you shouldn't only have one of the elements. To give you an example, is the moon archetype. The moon, as we know, is the water. It has to deal with our feelings, and nurturing, making sure our husbands are, fed, our partners are fed, and, taken care of, like, baby, what do you need? And, the mother archetype, the moon is the mother, nurturing, feeding the baby, just that nurturing woman who wants to take care of the mother, feeding, and, all things motherly, like, is the moon archetype. So, and then there's the elegant rose, which is the more of like the earth aspect of the material things, and a woman always smelling, looking good, and feeling good, and, all those things that, women, our nails, hair done, our skin, looking radiant, all the things that when you see a woman, you're like, oh my God, is that rose, looking like a flower, and, her energy and her aura, and she just looks really beautiful. But imagine a woman just having one of that. She's just always beautiful, but she's not nurturing. She doesn't care to feed you. She doesn't care to, have any, not that you have to have kids, but, just that nurturing, the nurturing. We felt that energy. We sensed that energy from people before, of someone really, like our mothers. Someone really, what do you need? Feeding you, giving you a plate as soon as you get in, and yeah, things like that. So imagine if you're just pretty and you have, you smell good and you're doing all that, but you don't have the nurturing. So what he's explaining in the book is that to be like the ultimate master feminine, you have to embody all of these elements, all of these traits, which, correspond to elements. If you look at it in elements, I think it depends on like where we're at in our journeys, but I like to look at it elements just to break down not only to science, but like everything comes from somewhere. Like everything has a concrete, like there's always a masculine and feminine. Even here he explains it, we have even the masculine within us. But what should be highlighted the most as that we're woman, and we have, we were born as a woman, it should be the feminine. And even this book was, even when he was breaking it down, there was a lot of things that I didn't want to, I couldn't really relate to. Like a lot of the things that he mentioned, I was like, damn, I have been acting masculine, because I didn't really know how to act. And when I said that, I thought of myself as being an animal, like an animal not knowing how to act. But this is really true, because if you're not really taught on how you should be really acting, because you don't know, it's like, how are we supposed to act? If someone's really not telling you, you're kind of like all over the place. Some days you're choosing to be masculine. Some days I'm like, I have mean resting bitch face. Like, okay, if anybody look my way, I'm walking down the street, you fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck you up. That's basically what I'm saying in my head. But sometimes that's my attitude. And that's like me not really knowing how to really act, you know? But if you know how to act and know how it should be, it's like every time you do act like that, it's like, boom, I gotta snap back into this master feminine, because not only is it my power, but just all the things like that comes with it. I have seen the difference of me practicing like some of the things that were in this book, and some of the things that like I was not aware of. It's like you're really not aware of like you are aware of your energy after you like really address it, but it's like, is that really feminine? And why should we be seeking being feminine? Because we are women. We're women. It's sometimes it's hard like to even like hear what I'm saying and really let it register, but let it sink in. Maybe replay this video back, or maybe do some other research just to see like how powerful our femininity is, and why we should even like the animals who you know their nature, who go into their nature, the civilization, how, you know, how they, the civilization, how they basically like move, it's better, you know, you see like how the animals thrive better, like the lions and the you know, the lions, how that, you know, in itself, how you see the difference between them, how they you know, animals, you know, do their thing, and versus how, there's probably a word for it, I think it's civilizations or something, but I don't know the words. That's why I was recommended Gemini season to, and not only before I was recommended, you know, my astrology class as well, to look up words. But it was nice that when I had this conversation with a Gemini recently, that he brought this up, and all I can think about was my astrology class, how my astrology teacher, she always told us like just words, definitions, dictionaries. And it was crazy that I had the synchronicity, and he was a more, and my astrology teacher is a more, that he was like, I basically explained my problem. Like, I feel like I learn a lot of things, but it's really hard for me to explain what I'm learning and have these, you know, I can do it online, but really doing it in person, I really do struggle with this. And then he was explaining to me that maybe I need to look into more words. I just need to know words. That's what he said. He didn't say maybe. He said, you just need to know words. You know, look up. He gave me a book. He recommended a book that is like big on that. He said, the more words you know, the more you can, you know, kind of express yourself. And that's what I'm sensing Gemini season, that I need to work on, because I would have had that word to explain, like animal civilization, something like that. But to look at the hyenas and how the hyenas act, because the feminine hyenas, the woman hyenas, they be, you know, trying to run the show. They be running the show. And if you see how they act versus how the lions act, is a big difference. And that shows even within our community personally. And people might skin color because of, you know, certain conditions, you know, certain misfortunes. But it even shows when we do lack our femininity, because this is like the most important thing. Women, we choose our partners. We choose, you know, we are like the life. It's like, and some of us, you know, we are choosing because, you know, we're really coming off masculine. Maybe we don't know, and we haven't been taught a lot. And me personally, I haven't been taught. I have to really, even reading this book, I had to really sit down and just observe and just try to remember and try to just think about how my family, the women in my life are coming off, and how they do come off. I would never have basically escaped if I wasn't finding different things, different knowledge, not different knowledge, but different things to help me, to help guide me. You know, learning things from school, not that school doesn't teach you much, but I feel like this book has really honed in on, but some of us don't know this power. That's like the thing too. Like some of us, like even when my teacher recommended this book, so I speak for myself. It's like, if you feel like you're a woman, you feel like you're feminine, you feel like you got it all. I get dressed. I have a boyfriend, boys like me, whatever. Boys holla at me. So you don't really feel like there's anything sometimes that you really need to work on, or how much of diving deeper and how much better can we get. But I'm always saying there's always space for improvement. Any little bit helps. Not that you have to read this book and follow everything, believe everything, but just be open-minded and try to seek out things that can really help elevate you. And the most I can just do is just recommend, right? But yeah, recommend and just hope that you guys will want to, well, you have this tool at any time. So whenever you guys are ready, really, because we're all at journeys, we're all at different journeys, we're all doing different things. So this is just really a tool for when you are ready. To be like, oh yeah, what's that book that girl was talking about? I have really seen, difference of just me like honing it down. Okay, I don't have to win everything. Let me not talk so much. Let me try nurture. There's a lot of things that was just off with me and just not completely right because I didn't know, like, okay, but now it's like how you know how to act. You should be nurturing. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. Just do it, If you are with the person, then that's another thing. Why be with someone and waste your time if you don't believe that's the person that you should be doing some of these, acting in your feminine nature. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be with someone I don't like, right? And then you're gonna not play you're not gonna play out in your feminine nature. So you're basically like wasting your time. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be with this guy, whatever. This girl's talking about femininity and all that, but it's kind of like you're wasting your time because you should be acting, because like the more you get on it, it's like, it's not like it's a race or anything, but it's like the more you can work on it, the better it would be for you. It's like the more you're aware of it, the more you can start working on it. And then it's like practice. Everything in this world is like practice. You kind of have to practice being in this nature, because the other, it's like practicing. Yeah, I remember reading that. It was either this book or something I was reading. It had to be this book. It's like, because I remember that day I was playing music, curse music and all that. It was really loud, a little bit ratchet, but and I was just really acting, doing all that. And even when I was doing that, myself was like, maybe you should tone it down, because sometimes I remember watching femininity videos online, and a woman would, Ashira, Star Goddess, let me not say a woman, let me get it straight. Ashira Star Goddess would say like, oh, you should, if you want to be more feminine, what she would do is watch Marilyn Monroe movies, or back in the day, how they would really be more feminine. She'll watch movies like that. She would really listen to sensual music and things like that. So that was kind of like replaying in my mind. Not that you can't listen to this music and can't be yourself. It's just that you kind of want to practice that switch. Sometimes when you're being maybe too masculine or whatever, play that music at your own time. But when it's time to act or get it, I won't say it's to act, but get into that nature, you should be and be able to utilize that when necessary. You should be able to utilize that. So what else I was saying? So it's like practice. It's practice. It's like, it's like getting dressed and being pretty. You're not going to just get dressed one day and be elegant one day and smell good one day, right? To know how to do your eyebrows, to know how to do your makeup, to know even how to dress and put outfits together. It's something that you have to do. The fact that I'm doing it Now I'm getting into like getting dressed a little bit more and getting into like, you know, layering and just doing a little bit more to my dress up. It's an upkeep. It's something you have to really work on, because sometimes you will forget your outfits, forget like that bomb outfit. Sometimes I won't even want to take pictures so I can remember like, oh, that outfit was sexy. I want to remember that. So let me take a picture of that. So that's an upkeep. It's an energy that you got to upkeep. Even getting your nails done, getting your hair done. If you let that go, eventually you're going to just let that go. So practicing femininity is something you have to be aware of, one, and then you have to upkeep it. Upkeep that nurturing. Don't be with someone that you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be nurturing. No, you should be practicing that nurturing with that partner that you believe is going to be that partner that you should be practicing these things with, you know? Because otherwise, yes, you are wasting your time, because you should, you know, women are, not that we are on a time, but yeah, we are on a time, because we don't have all day if you are expecting to have babies, and we shouldn't be having babies with just anybody, because this masculine femininity has power to it, and we should, I feel like, having unions, having babies with this being within us first, like working on ourselves, developing this, then go finding a relationship with these qualities, and then building your family and moving on. Because I feel like once you have mastered, you know, that femininity, once you know what it is and you mastered it within you, you now have the power to do, like, that's within you. You're off to the world to do whatever, and you have that within you. You feel me? Because you honed it, you understand it, you know what it is, you know what points and what exactly all key points and what I need to hit so I can be, you know, because before, if you don't know, you don't know. It's like, yeah, I do know I have to nurture. I do know my partner likes me when I cook, but should I do it all the time? It's like that in and off. It's like, should I, could I? It's not like all the time that, yes, you have to do it. Sometimes, you know, let the nigga eat out if you want to. Let him buy some food, you know, but it should be that you are practicing that. Okay, he buys food out today. Tomorrow, you know, make sure my boo gets something to eat. We're going to eat together. That type of vibe, you know, it should be some type of, because we have roles as women and men has roles, and we should be working on that union, vibing together. Some of us don't even know what that representation looks like, because we've been in so much toxic relationships and things like that. Trust me, we see powerful couples. We see couples that, not every powerful couple that we see, you know, doesn't go through some shit. But I'm just saying, we see couples who are happy. We see them on YouTube. We see them, you know, vibing. We see people who, you know, don't have as much problems as others. Maybe they do, you know, at the end of the day. But I'm just saying, you know, some of us, we just don't know how good things can be. And I feel like, you know, just try, you know, things that do elevate you, and just practice it. It has to be a practice. It has to be a part of you. And by making it a part of you, you have to practice it on a consistent basis. You have to practice it on a consistent basis. It's the only way. So yeah, enough with the yes, but I did want to mention that, because I am almost done, and I know as I wrap it up, I am gonna definitely reread this book, because it was so good. No, you're good. No, you're good. I'll go up there. Trying to get his work done. Yeah, so yeah, I'm about to, like I was saying, yeah, but I'm gonna reread this book because it is juicy. Same thing like Kabbalion, because for like, it just, like, I travel, and then it not only did I traveled when I read these books, I felt like it made me think in a different way. Like, I was stuck thinking in a one track mindset, and they would say something, I'm like, they do have a point, but I'm so stuck in a one track mindset. And then when they kind of like nurture you and it kind of makes sense, it's like, okay, you know, and it just like, okay. And now you kind of nurture yourself to kind of like ease in. It's not that you have to believe it, but it's like new information. It sounds crazy, but it sounds, you know, pretty accurate. You know, this book is pretty spot on. You kind of don't want to admit it. You know, I've been acting like a little masculine. I've been acting like a little man, but it's spot on. But I don't really want to admit it. So it's kind of like that. When I read these books, so I definitely want to read them again. But I know when I put them away, because I am going to be diving in. I have like a whole bunch of books that are like on the waiting list, waiting to get read. Yeah, so I wanted to make sure I touch up on some of the things that, you know, that were not near and dear, but they're just, I feel like as women we need to know this ish. Like, we need to know this ish. Let's stop playing, because I see the power in this, and we just need to be on it. There's enough for all of us, you know. There's enough for all of us. And yeah, we just need to get this so we can get this right and do this thing the right way. How do we know what's the right way, right? But like I said, it's like understanding our natures, understanding like what as women, what really, you know, like we either hit one of these aspects. The other ones were air. I didn't mention the air, but I'll get into that in another video. I don't want to dive too deep, make this already like 30-minute video. But yeah, we'll dive into that another day. We'll get into that juiciness, because it is a juicy book, y'all. So it's called The Awakening the Master Feminine by Yao Laming Morris, something like that. Y'all seen the cover. And I'll definitely add it in the description box, or let you guys know, whoever's interested, because yeah, we all need to get this juice. And he has the master awakening the master masculine as well. Let me just show you guys so you guys don't think I'm lying. Awakening the master masculine, which I would like to read it, you know, just so I can recommend to guys, because guys need these healing tools, not only us. So yeah. So for my fellas out there, you're not left alone, okay? We got you too. We got you too. All right. So here we have the Two of Sticks and the Daughter of Baskets. And when we see the Daughter of Baskets, we think of a woman who's carrying all of her feelings and just on the top of, you know, it's just on the top. That's funny. Definitely had to be like a feeling vibe, because all day I've been thinking about like just the moon energy. Not all day, but just the moon. And I'm talking about the feminine. Look at that. Ooh. Sometimes you just don't even know what you be saying. But like literally when I was washing dishes, what was I thinking about with the moon? Nurture. Was it nurturing? It was nurturing. It was nurturing. Like, how am I coming off? Nurturing. It was a little bit more than that. I wish I remember exactly so I can give you guys the exact tea. Funny, because I was making tea at that time too. But I can't give it to you guys right now. But that's just funny. And I'm talking about feminine, and femininity has to do with like the moon. The moon is definitely like, you know, really feminine and receptive and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's interesting. And then I see the Daughter of Baskets. That's a little bit in that nature of just like it's I see like a bit of a nurturing type of vibes when I see this, and like holding on to some of your emotions or feelings, or holding on to something that is like that you honor, that you really wear, like you look up to, like, you know, you really are like either on top of the way you feel, so really aware, really on it, on like how the way you feel, maybe expressing the way you feel, and like the way you feel is like being able to really express itself, or you really are like it's like that's like number one to you, the way you're coming, the way you're.
Remember the paint you put on the house?
the way you feel. Yes, and over here we have the Two of Sticks. The Two of Sticks here. When I see the Two of Sticks, I think of Two of Sticks here is like, I see like some, not abandonment, but like abandonment. Like, yes, there's something that we like left from or leaving to, that, you know, that we left from or leaving to, that's playing into factor. Left from or leaving to go, like, leading, what else? It's kind of like lonely now, not lonely, but like, I guess you could say like alone, and you're like in a space where you're kind of like hidden because of, you know, because of that. It's like, is your feelings keeping you locked in, or some type of, what else I see here? This is really interesting. You see his figure is kind of like a shadow, and then he's holding like real tight to two sticks. So it looks like, you know, kind of like symbolizes like some weakness, but some type of strength of, you know, being able to keep going, even though you may not have all the inner strength within you or the abilities within you, but you still have that power to really, you know, try to trot through, you know, it's not really fast paced, fast moving, but it's like, you know, you're still getting it done. You're still getting through, even though it's kind of like, not as easy. It's not really easy, whatever it really is. I see, but, you're gonna get through it. You're gonna get through it. It is kind of dark, is what I'm seeing. Dark. So yeah, I hope that was enough juice for the juiciness of this reading. And yes, it resonated with one of us, and hopefully we're able to get some type of insight for our card of the day reading. Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed, and yes, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.